Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Dubai British School Emirates Hills Year 13 graduation ceremony 2021. It's a real pleasure to be able to speak with you all this morning, as it's hugely important to be able to mark the end of your school years and the next steps in your journey. I know that 8 of you started with DBS Emirates Hills in the foundation stage in years 2006-2007, and a quarter of graduates here today have been with the school for the entirety of their secondary education. A wonderful achievement for a school in an international setting. From being at DBS Emirates Hills for the past 8 years myself, I have known many of you since the primary school, and it is with genuine pleasure that I have been able to see you grow into remarkable young men and women that you are today. As a way of summing up your time at school, I would like to mention a phrase used by the celebrated American author Maya Angelou. The phrase is, to be a rainbow in the clouds. Maya Angelou talks about both her professional and personal life when she uses this phrase, as she describes that, like all of us, she is the sum of her experiences. Maya describes that throughout her life she has encountered clouds, but also many rainbows, people who have brought joy, happiness, and positivity to her life. I would like to think that when you look back on your time at DBS, that there have been many rainbows, be that experiences or people, friends, teachers, and family members who have helped to shape, guide, and advise you on your way. We are incredibly lucky in an international environment to every day be alongside people from different backgrounds, cultures, and traditions. It is important that you take these as experiences and embrace them. I'm sure that many of you have aspirations of leadership in whatever field you decide to enter. And there is a misnomer that says it's lonely at the top. But as Maya Angelou writes, when I go up on stage or when I go to translate, I have all these people, all these experiences that I've known throughout my entire life. And I say, okay, come on with me. I'm going up on stage now, and I'm never worried because I have rainbows in my clouds. I wish you well in your next steps, whether that be university or a gap year. Make your experiences count, and where possible, be the rainbow in your actions, words, and sentiments. I hope you enjoy the morning. Good luck, and I wish you well. And I look forward to hearing about you as an alumni.
Good morning, parents, colleagues, and students. In the build-up to the preparations for today, I volunteered to proof the presentations which outline our graduating class's future aspirations. As proofreading goes, it was actually quite enjoyable, and it turned out to be a really eye-opening experience in more ways than one. Class of 2021, I was struck with a huge sense of pride of how ambitious you are, and not just blind ambition. I've spent the last week quality assuring teacher assessed grades, so I know that this ambition is well placed. It's based on a track record of academic excellence and high achievement. Now, achievement means different things to different people. And I am just as proud of our A star and A students, just as proud in comparison to our students who've worked so hard to get their B's and C's. Success looks different for individual students, and every single one of you has a reason to reflect on your achievements over the last 2 years with a deep sense of pride and accomplishment. As I further reflected on the content of today's graduation ceremony, I was also struck with a blend of other emotions. Regret. Regret that all these beautiful students I've seen smiling back at me through the PowerPoint presentations have had to hide behind masks all year, and that I never really got a chance to know all of your faces. A sense of loss that our interactions were limited, and so I've gone a year without developing genuine, meaningful relationships with many of you. And the more I considered this, I felt a bit like an imposter. I knew I'd have to write a meaningful speech for an incredibly deserving class. But how could I, when the first time I got to see you all collectively together at the same time was on a PowerPoint slide? I thought about this even more, and I realised that these emotions and this realisation is probably exactly what you have felt or will experience when thinking back about this year. You've not gotten to sit formal external examinations. You've missed out on labs, practical work and field trips in comparison to previous years. However, I really hope that as you move into the next stage of your academic careers, that you don't ruminate on the things that you've missed out on. You have all done extraordinarily well to maintain your attendance at school, to keep handing in assignments, and to revise for yet another round of assessments. And as a result, you can expect to be more prepared for universities than many of your future classmates. In life, you've dealt with one of the most difficult time periods in living history, and yet you're still here, smiling today. All year, we have been dealing with the limits that have been linked to keeping us safe, and yet you've maintained a shoot-for-the-moon attitude when it came to your own future aspirations. Parents, you have done a tremendous job in supporting your children, in maintaining this positive outlook. And the students that are graduating here today wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your love, care, and guidance. You have so much to be proud of today. And parenting in a pandemic is no mean feat. You've been fantastic. Class of 2021, as we get older, life does not get easier, but we grow stronger. And as you leave Dubai British School, Emirates Hills, you leave as brave and strong young adults with a huge bank of resilience. Make sure you take this with you on your journey. Congratulations, graduating class of 2021. The very best of luck in your future careers.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله الكرام. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Members of the faculty, parents and graduates, and everyone watching this video, I'm honored to be speaking to you today. I'd like to draw your attention to the image which is about to appear on your screen. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That is us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of ideologies and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilizations, every king and peasant, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. On May the 11th, 1996, Professor Carl Sagan, an eminent cosmologist of the second half of the 20th century, spoke at a commencement ceremony very much like this one. It was through this speech that Professor Sagan coined the phrase, the blue dot, in reference to our planet Earth, and for which he will always be remembered. Professor Sagan died later that year. These are some of his words. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings. How eager they are to kill one another. How fervent their hatreds. Our outpourings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we have ever known. Graduates of Dubai British School, you are at a crossroads. Soon, many of you will leave the comfort and protection of home as you explore further education. Remember that with freedom comes responsibility. You all belong to nuclear families that have cherished you as children and nurtured you into the young, upstanding adults you are today. Your families have endowed you with a strong sense of right and wrong, and you are fortunate that your school has over the years consistently reinforced those moral values through its principled promotion of choice with responsibility. And as you look to the next 3 or 4 years of your lives, remember that university life is not merely training ground for your future profession, but rather the training ground for young people like yourselves who will soon inherit the earth. I urge you to take this inheritance seriously. It is traditional in these speeches that you should receive nuggets of advice. I shall restrict myself to 4. First, find something that you really are passionate about. This gives you a strong sense of purpose, and it is a big part of happiness. To do that, you need to be honest with yourself, observant, and make the most of a situation. Second, find the smartest people you can and surround yourself with them. You will be challenged to do your best, and they would elevate your thinking. Smart people will challenge you to think harder and in entirely different ways. Search criticism to become a better self. Third, find allies rather than adorers. You can choose to surround yourself with adorers who are easy to be around, but never tell you when you are wrong. Instead, seek out allies who are honest with you when they feel that you are not living up to your potential, people who will challenge you to be the best you can be. And finally, learn to fail or fail to learn. Doing something you are not ready to do isn't comfortable. But in pushing yourself through this discomfort, you will learn a lot about yourself. you will learn that you can do something that you never thought you could, or you will learn where your limits are. Either lesson is valuable. It is important to push through the uneasiness because that's how you really grow and that's how you really reach. And do not let the fear of failure stop you. I wish you all Godspeed.
As head of sixth form, I feel privileged to have watched these children mature into balanced, independent and confident young men and women ready to take their next step in the world. The resilience and adaptability they have demonstrated is to be commended during the most uncertain and challenging times we have witnessed. Sitting down to reflect on the cohort, you realise that there have been friendship formed that will hopefully last a lifetime. The student awards that were presented during the Leavers event last week provided an urban dictionary education in itself, but brought forward the warmth and cohesion between the students. The Best Bromance and Womance awards were tightly contested, with Zahir, Sam, Molly and Shahat leaving victorious. Whilst it was a first that we had a top TikToker award, with congratulations to Ismail winning by quite the majority. One of the strengths I believe of DBS is the community spirit it holds. Welcoming the new students of this cohort to join us back in September 2019 was a time of nervous anxiety. It is our mantra at DBS to ask that if any student doesn't feel settled by the end of the second week, to pop in and speak to us. And it's a testament to the type of students that we have that this intervention is never required. It was Ellie and Malak who stood out for me during these early days, inducting Taylor to the school and into their friendship group. Talent by definition is someone with natural aptitude or skill, and there's an abundance to speak about. Whether it's the artistic talent of Sia and Kira, or creativity and imagination shown by Thomas and Jean. The sporting prowess demonstrated by Harry, Ruben and Marta, or the musical flair of Anushka and Lena that we are treated to today. The challenge of completing a drama A-level, distanced, masked, whilst maintaining the practical and theoretical components was no small feat. Yet Mackenzie, Ria and Prisha finished on a high under the guidance of Mrs. Ross. Our entrepreneurs in business and economics kept Miss Hamer and Mr. Rahman on their toes, with Max, Amir, Samir working out their weekend budgets, Habib and Alex forming spreadsheets for university expenditure, and Emir Yilmaz forecasting projections for world domination. Our psychologist in Nicole, Aprigita, Natalia, just next door, was subsequently busy critically analysing the behaviour, categorising and compartmentalising theory to practice. Othello and Atonement were some of the texts of study and literature lessons, and Iram and her peers rose to the challenge, interacting with the class both physically when present and through teams during stretches of distance learning. Whilst in English language, Alex, Sam and Amani studied the history and formation of language through the developmental stages, learning of the impact that words can have. Our linguists in Jack and Adrian have been fantastic A-level students. Mr. Paulette and Miss Simpson have greatly enjoyed their wonderfully French, laissez-faire approach to daily life. Their consistent good humour, and even in the face of 17th century French literature and their love of playing French Pictionary. Mr. Breeze returned this year and thoroughly enjoyed testing Sama, Chris, Noor and Dennis's mathematical skills. Who knew that differential equations, normal distributions and inclined planes could prove so much fun? With Ashkan, Armin and Maliha kept busy in science lessons, core practicals, investigations, and learning about the way humans and the world works. Sammy, Izzy, and Amy watched their BTEC business grades go from strength to strength, meeting many assessment deadlines over the 2 years. Their presentation, report writing, and research skills have improved greatly as a result and left them in good stead in preparation for university life. The media students delivered exceptional coursework, revealing some interesting sides to our Year 13s. Omar and Faiz rapped in some of Dubai's most salubrious settings. Yassi looked like the ultimate R&B artist living out her teenage fantasy. Kareem and Nick shared broken hearts, and who knew Nick Arman was a rapper extraordinaire and that Zara Azzam was a secret rap lover? Ben was simply Mr. Indie. Noel Gallagher has nothing on him. Zara Walker, Rhea and Mackenzie lived out their pop dreams, and Kira made Billie Eilish look quite ordinary. Not to mention introducing Alex Macmillan as Scotland's finest new film director. I think they totally smashed it. With Noah, Zara, Jack and Amani leading the prefect body, there were many ideas developed and shared. Leading the secondary student council saw their skills in communication, organisation and patience tested. Yet the team is to be commended on taking on these roles in a time where restrictions made even the best laid plans difficult. Our peer mentors continued their Key Stage 3 programme using online measures, with Yassi leading the group and Mrs. Gallagher organising training of skills that we are hopeful will transfer into the working world for years to come. The Common Room, this mystical place that Year 11s dream of, was refurbished last summer and is split into a group workroom, an SPS room, which stands for Silent Private Study, and a common room. Yassine, Ehab, Yasmin and Shahat, among others, have helped keep the order, often acting as interior decorators during events such as Halloween and Christmas, whilst always observing the social distancing markers. I would like to have a special mention here for Thomas Walls, who you may not know has been voted overall school winner for Halloween's Best Dressed Student for the second year running. He's also won a National Design Prize through Comic-Con and not surprisingly is off to study product design at university. SPS is added to all student timetables in Year 12 and the number assigned would fluctuate based on effort and academic performance. The room is always available to any student and does become particularly popular prior to the assessment weeks and BTEC assignment deadlines. Alvaro, Emil, Ibrahim and Aidan are just a small number to mention who have made really effective use of their non-directed time, and I hope this effort is reflected in their final grades. Sport. Sadly, with the restrictions, we have not been out on fixtures this year, but we do have many sporting enthusiasts within the cohort. Harrison, Ruby and Harry are off to pursue a sports-related degree, with Harry and Harrison heading to Manchester to the University Academy 92, with Gary Neville himself being involved in their induction interview. Mr. Pennock and I would like to mention our volleyball teams within the cohort who have been competing for the last few years in the DASA leagues. We've thoroughly enjoyed helping you learn the game and hope you continue at university and beyond. So, to the class of 2021, you should be proud of everything you've accomplished. In a year when everything slowed down and was restricted, you pushed through harder. In a year defined by so much disruption and loss, you never gave up. Instead, you studied. I'm incredibly proud of each and every one of you and excited that you're taking your next steps into the world. With the planned launch of DBS Alumni, I do hope you stay in touch and pop by when you're back in town. Congratulations, the Dubai British School, Emirates Hills, class of 2021.
As we rise once more, straining against the shackles of this earth-shattering pandemic, the dust settles on a very eventful last few years, and we can look back proudly on how far we have come under such exceptional and unprecedented circumstances, supported by our fellow students, parents, and of course teachers. Hello, class of 2021, and welcome to your graduation. Whether you've been going to DBS for 15 years or even only the last 2 years, I'd like to congratulate you on having completed your school journey. From what I hear, despite the obstacles in our way, our year group has done exceptionally well when it comes to university offers. This is true for both conditional and unconditional offers. Although I don't know what your futures hold, I have no doubt that you all will go on to do well in your respective fields and make DBS proud. Your futures, as unknown and potentially daunting as they may seem, are yours and yours alone to steer whichever way you see it. Be courageous and bold in making your own path. Don't dilute or apologize for your most ambitious of dreams, because in the words of the inspiration that is Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And as an addendum to that, according to another titan of history, Abraham Lincoln, the best way to predict that very same future is to create it. So grab that future tightly with both hands. Use every last skill acquired, every last piece of knowledge learnt, every last experience accumulated in the past few years, and truly advocate for yourself like no one has ever before. It is said that you miss every shot that you don't take. And in order to cross the ocean, you must have the courage to lose sight of the shore. In order to get something you have never had before, you must be willing to do something you have never done before. Whether it be in university, the job market, or any other aspect of life, we will face new challenges and have to decide to choose either the path of least resistance or take a risk and go down the path less trodden. I'll close my speech with a quote from Mark Twain that may help you find the courage needed to choose the latter and jump into the first day of the rest of your lives head first. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Sail away from the safe harbour. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Thank you.
Hello, friends, family and fellow graduates. We've done it. The day that many of us have looked forward to is finally here. As children, all we ever wanted was to do is to grow up, but being here today makes me want to slow things down a bit. Reflecting back on our time at DBS, there may have been moments where we may not have fully appreciated the people or the environment around us. But the truth is, we have been extremely fortunate to have been part of not only an outstanding school, but to have been part of a close-knit, safe, diverse, and supportive community. Over the last few years, we have grown as individuals, but also as a collective, and I consider us to be among some of the most successful cohort of students at this school, which can be backed up by incredible university decisions. Despite that, there have been some struggles along the way. To have experienced a pandemic, having to come to terms with teacher-assessed grades, alongside the expectations and stress that comes with being a sixth form student, it has not been easy for us. But we have tackled these hurdles remarkably, and none of these struggles should detract or negate the successes we have experienced, and so you should be proud of where you are. However, we could not have done this without the incredible support system around us. I would like to thank our parents and all the staff, from the senior leadership team to our subject teachers, for their dedication in encouraging and pushing us to strive for the best, both academically and as individuals. One day, we will grow up to become your doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, whatever it may be. And so, for your own sake, I hope you have taught us well. To the students, whether you have been at DBS since the very beginning or you have just joined over the last couple of years, I think it is safe to say that we have all created and formed some wonderful memories over the last couple of years and have established close relationships with classmates and teachers combined, and these friendships and relationships we will highly value moving forward. So, as our time here comes to an end, I would just like to close by saying to my fellow graduates, no matter where you go next, please do keep in touch with one another and always remember the core values and lessons you have learnt from your school years. And now, with the endless possibilities that are set forward for you, I hope you continue to be blessed in your future endeavours. And with that said, congratulations DBS Class of 2021. Thank you.
So we're moving on to our academic subject awards, both for academic commitment and academic achievement. For English literature, academic commitment, we have Iram Yannick. For academic achievement, we have Sia Advani. For English language, academic commitment, Kira Sullivan. Academic achievement, Shahat Sajnani. Media Studies, academic commitment, Yassi Hashimedi. Academic achievement, Omar Omar. For drama, academic commitment, Ria Ramesh. Academic achievement, Mackenzie Stitt. For music, academic commitment, Anushka Mukherjee. Academic achievement, Alina Dangapawala. For arts, academic commitment, Kira Sullivan. And for academic achievement, Sia Advani. BTEC Graphics, academic achievement, Jean Klutsch. BTEC IT, academic achievement, Alexander Macmillan. History, academic commitment, Iram Yannick. Academic achievement, Aprajita Singhvi. Geography, academic commitment, Denizhan Pekka. Academic achievement, Aidan Fulton. BTEC Travel and Tourism. Academic commitment, Marta Chekovic. Academic achievement, Ellie Brown. Moral education, academic commitment, Amy Heath. Academic achievement, Molly White. Mathematics, academic commitment, Sama Atala. Academic achievement, Denizhan Pekka. Further mathematics, academic achievement, Christopher Ard. French, academic commitment, Jack Attia. Academic achievement, Adrian Franca. BTEC Sport, academic commitment, Ruben Ashton. Academic achievement, Harrison Smith. Chemistry, academic commitment, Alvaro Olivan Cano. Academic achievement, Noah Cliff. Physics, academic commitment, Ibrahim Bakari. Academic achievement, Emir Yilmaz. Academic achievement, Christopher Ard. Biology, academic commitment, Emil Giacolino. Academic achievement, Noah Cliff. Business, academic commitment, Sama Atala. Academic achievement, Aprajita Singhvi. Economics, academic commitment, Denizhan Pekka. Academic achievement, Emir Yilmaz. BTEC Business, academic commitment, Ellie Brown. Academic achievement, Ben Willis. Psychology, academic commitment, Natalia Gulasek. Academic achievement, Aprajita Singhvi. IPQ, academic commitment, Denizhan Pekka. Academic achievement, Molly White. Dubai British School, Emirates Hills, graduating class of 2021. Hams Ahmed. Taylor Brands. Natalia Gulasek. Yasemin Hashimi. Amy Heath. Emil Giacolino. Arman Nick Jaharis. Anushka Mukherjee. Samir Musa. Ria Ramesh. Sami Rashad. Prisha Sharma. Aprajita Singhvi. Ashkan Tajik Kava. Iram Yannick. Yassine Murdan. Malak Zaran. Christopher Ard. Zara Aslam. Jack Atia. Nicole Comerford. Marta Czekovic. Adrian Franca. Malia Hassan. Mansour. Shahat Sajnani. Faiz Salim. Harry Topping. Emir Yilmaz. Emir Zukic. Ruben Ashton. Ehab Aziz. Ibrahim Bakari. Noah Cliff. Noor Eldin Elmasalami. Isabella Goddard. Alvaro Olivan Cano. Harrison Smith. Mackenzie Stitz. Thomas Walls. Ben Willis. Alina Dungapawala. Aidan Fulton. Samuel Jennings. John Klutch. Habib Dada. Zaher Mukadam. Molly White. Sia Advani. Kareem Doha. Zara Walker. Ellie Brown. Omar. Ishmael Sawa. Alexander Macmillan. Denizhan Pecker. Kira Sullivan. Sama Atala. Max Bowerman. Alex McNichol. Yasmin Nabili. And Amani Salia.